All right, welcome back to Dr. Walls and Friends, and we are here with Chef Stephnie.
Yes.
And I love the name of your business. Would you please tell us what that is?
Twice the Spice Caterers.
Twice the Spice Caterers. Now that name could have taken us all types of places, but it ends up being catering.
Well, it usually does. It takes people some places where I don't want to go.
Okay, all right.
I'll stick with food.
All right. So Twice the Spice. So tell us, how did you get into the catering business?
Well, it's a long story, but I'm going to make it brief because I can get a little long-winded, should I say.
All right.
I was married, and we were stationed in Cuba. So I used to prepare food for my husband. And the other gentleman used to be, oh, your food is so good. What's going on? Where you get it from? And he was like my wife. So I started preparing food for the other military members, but it got costly. So I said, they're going to have to start giving $5.
Okay.
They got to give something.
Okay.
So that's where it started, and ever since it just trickled down. And when I came back to the United States, I started feeding the military on the shipyard before they shut down.
Wow.
And then it trickled down, and me and Brother Earl, Photo Posse Studios, we came up with the name together because we were figuring out, well, you do the good Caribbean food and spice and it's spicy, and I was like, oh yeah, twice the spice, okay.
Nice.
So that's how basically that came about.
Oh wow. And so how long have you been in business?
Since '97.
Okay, so we're looking at 14, 15, coming over 15 years.
Yes.
Wow, congratulations. You're welcome. And now what do you specialize in?
Well, basically, we specialize at Twice the Spice Caterers is heart healthy comfort food,
Okay.
Caribbean cuisine, soul fusion, and we do vegan options also.
Ah.
We are diabetic friendly, so we
Okay.
use agave nectar for the diabetics.
Yes.
And also gluten-free items.
Wonderful.
We try to, make sure we take care of everybody the best way we can.
Wonderful. And as a vegan, I appreciate you. Thank you. That is so wonderful. So now you mentioned soul fusion. What is that?
Soul fusion is soul food, but we use non-pork products.
Okay.
We use zero trans fat. We use sea salt to keep the sodium level down.
All right.
And extra virgin olive oils or grapeseed oils. We try to make sure that you can still, have a good time remembering back in the day when you was home with great-grandmama, grandmama in the kitchen, but have a heart-healthy experience. Because just because people think soul food is so unhealthy. No, it's not. It all depends on how you prepare any type of food that makes it unhealthy or healthy.
Yes.
And that's what it comes down to. So we call it soul fusion.
I am so glad you said that, because a lot of times people say, oh, you a vegan, all you eat is tofu. And I said, I'm probably the least tofu eating vegan that you will ever meet. I don't particularly care for tofu, and I always explain to people that it really is the spice and the way things are seasoned that you like in the food, and sometimes it's texture as well. So at Twice the Spice, it sounds like y'all know how to season your food very well.
Oh, yes, we do.
Okay.
It's texture, it's layers of flavor, and I tell people all the time, take the time out to taste as you add to your food. So you add a little something tasted, add a little something else tasted, because it's the layers that builds up to that final dish that's going to bring that perfect flavor to your meal. And they always say, oh, Chef Steph, let me get your recipe. It's not going to come out the same. Because everybody's taste buds are different.
Yes.
When you're tasting your food, drink some water, because your taste buds get coated after a period of time. And if you're constantly tasting something and it's spicy, and then you try to eat something sweet, it's not going to taste the same if you was, eating something a little salty and then eating something sweet. So it's all about you, and it's all about building your layers of flavor.
I love that. See, I love that Dr. Walls and Friends always learning something new, and many times people don't realize with their taste buds those different reactions. And I know it also, as people get older, their taste buds change. And go ahead.
I'm sorry, but you can burn off your taste buds.
Can you?
I mean, you can basically burn, your taste buds do change as you get older, you can burn them. Yes.
With like too much spice, or through heat, or
too heat, eating it, tasting it, or eating your food when it's hot. And then too much spice. You can burn off taste.
Oh, we learn something new every day. Wow. So it's really, I like the fact that your company literally caters to the needs of the people. And we hear so much stuff about gluten-free now. What made you really start to cater to that idea that some people need gluten-free?
A friend of mine, I worked at Marriott for I guess 11 years in banquets. So I got a lot of my banquet experience at Marriott. And one of my friends there is, I think it's celiac disease, if I'm not mistaken.
That is
so
correct.
she's, you know, she can't have the wheat.
Right.
You know, so I was like, okay, she can't have wheat. So if she can't have wheat, a lot of other people can't have wheat either.
It's the truth.
You know, and stuff. So, and then that's a carbohydrate. And a lot of times that makes you tired, worn out. People wonder why I'm so dragged, why I'm so tired, why I don't have energy. And it may be because you're allergic to wheat. So in the markets now, and I know I shop a lot at Whole Foods, but I shop a lot at other markets also, and they have a whole lot of gluten-free items.
They do.
That, I mean, Trader Joe's, even your basic supermarkets are now, you know, tending to gluten-free because they know that people, I mean, they have these, you know, these issues with their health, and it will help them out a whole lot to have gluten-free items. So I mean, they have it all out there for you.
And it's so interesting because as people get older, you hear people now talk about growing into allergies. And I know I was a person that I love dough. Like, you ain't even have to cook it, just give me some dough. And I was very happy. I love bread. And as I got older, I started having pains and stuff in my chest when I would eat certain bread. And so, and I tried to do whole wheat, I tried to do the multigrain, I tried everything. And it just turned out that somebody said to me, you may be allergic to flour. And so as I pulled the flour away, the pain went away. And of course that hurt my feelings because I couldn't eat my bread anymore. So, but I felt better. And so a lot of times our bodies do have these different reactions to food, and our body is talking to us all the time. And we have to learn to pay attention to it and really understand it.
That's all right. And they have a lot of great products. In case anyone wants to know, they have rice noodles. You know, instead of getting the, you know, spaghetti, or even like the whole grain. You know, because it has wheat in it. Some of them do. You know, so you always read your labels. I believe in that. If there's more than 10 ingredients, as they say, and you hear some top chefs and nutritionists there tell you, leave it alone. You know, and I tell people, I tell my children that, I tell friends that, you know, just read your labels and you go from there. But I love rice noodles. They're really good.
And you know what I just had the other night? Some quinoa pasta. And I liked it. You said
no. I was going to say something, but I'm gonna let you go ahead first.
No, you know, and for me, why quinoa is important is because it's protein rich, and so as a vegan, making sure I get my proper amounts of protein, but also recognizing that it's another way for me to also enjoy pasta, because I had to stop eating pasta for a while because sometimes some of the different pastas out there aren't that great. So I was happy to find one that worked well for me.
That's a good product. I love quinoa. They have it. You can find it in different colors. It can be like a tannish color, reddish, black, you know. But I love it because it's antioxidants. It's just it's just a mega grain, basically. If you can add some quinoa into your diet, you're doing excellent. You know, and even for breads, I love the like spelt breads, you know, things like that. You can still eat bread, but eat hearty grains and grains that aren't, you know, of like maybe a wheat or, I mean, they just have so much stuff there now.
There's such a variety. It's such a variety. And like you said, it's not just in Whole Foods. A lot of times people go, oh, Whole Foods, you're going to spend your whole check in Whole Foods. But you have to learn how to shop. Because you can sometimes go to Whole Foods, and if you know what you're looking for, come out less than going to, say, an Acme or a ShopRite or so forth. But it just depends on what you're buying. So you have to know. So now you have a portfolio there with some pictures that are making me actually quite hungry. So would you share with the people some of your creations?
I'll share a few of them.
All right.
I have hundreds. But I wasn't prepared for that. But anyway, this is box lunches. I just had did a box lunch for Women Still Standing.
Yes, their event about a week, 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, about 2 weeks ago.
And that's when we actually met, because I came to the table and I was like, I'm hungry and I need a vegan lunch. And you said, no problem. And I almost fell out. It's hard to find. A lot of times people are like, sorry, we have tuna. And I'm like, no, I don't eat that. And then they'll say, oh, we have something with cheese. No, I don't eat that either. But you had it. That's right. And now here you are on Dr. Walls and Friends. Look at that.
Happy.
That's right. Feed her and you get on the show.
So I thought about this too. I said, vegetarian wraps, no cheese. We have some vegans. You never know.
That's right.
But these are the box lunches we had. We had, of course, the vegan, the vegetarian, chicken salad wraps, and salmon wraps.
Yes.
So that took care of everyone.
Yes. And there was fruit in there as well
Yes.
as dessert, a
The
cookie.
fresh fruit,
Yes.
the homemade cookies.
Yes.
I made them myself. We had oatmeal raisin and chocolate chip.
Mm-hmm.
So as you know, I don't use any hydrogenated oils, and I didn't want to take the short route and say, well, since they're children, they don't know no better, I'm going to go to the store and buy some cookies. Right. No, I don't do that. I don't care if your budget is high end or mid-range or low range. I'm going to make sure everyone get the same quality of food. That's just
Let's clap. Yeah.
That was a tambourine.
Thank you.
I love it here. Okay, y'all can tell, right? I love it here. I'll be back. But here's another. We do the gourmet corporate lunches also. So this is just on a whole grain. As a matter of fact, this is one of my Ezekiel breads, because I love Ezekiel breads because it's sprouted grain. You know, so it's alive grains, and it's very, very good for you. So this is this is turkey for meat eaters, or should I say poultry eaters. Mm-hmm. Turkey and fresh vegetables, and a little, pepper there for twice the spice. And for my fish eaters who don't eat poultry or meat, I have a nice wrap here, which is a nice flaky fish, and all the vegetables, the peppers, also some grains, and some sprouts. I love sprouts. It gives it that extra crunch because you want to layer your food with different textures and stuff. You don't want everything to be mushy or everything to be crunchy. So you give it different textures. And I think I have a chipotle aioli on this one here.
Now I also notice it's very colorful, very pretty and pleasing to the eye. Now is that done purposely?
Yes.
All
because
right.
you eat with your eyes first. Food can be beautiful, or should I say food can be tasty, but you don't know it's tasty because you're going to look at it and say, oh my gosh, that looks awful, I'm not going to eat it.
Right.
But if you look at a product and say, oh, that's so beautiful, it draws you to it, it makes you want to eat it. So I pride myself in making sure that my product not only tastes good, but looks good.
All right.
And not only good for you.
All right. I know that's the truth. I remember I was little and my cousin had a green birthday cake and I wouldn't eat it. And they kept saying it's food coloring. I said, but cake ain't supposed to be green.
Right.
And they said, but it's food coloring. They took me in the kitchen, they showed me food. That's right. If it's green, it's mold. You ain't supposed to eat it. So, but they showed me food color and everything, but it's very true if it is appealing. Because I've also seen some good looking food that don't taste good too.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You're right.
And it upset me because it looked so good.
All right. But I'm happy at Twice the Spice. Our food tastes good.
That's right.
All the time.
Looks good and tastes
That's
good.
right.
Let's see what else you have.
Alrighty. And I love this one.
That looks good.
See, y'all gonna have me passing out in here,
Okay.
but I'm gonna hold it together. Okay, this is great. This is what I call a quick breakfast. That has a little bit of, you have your yogurt in there, your Greek yogurt. You have your fruit, you have your granola. And your granola you could basically make yourself, with some, good oats or, nuts or whatever. You can leave the nuts out because some people have nut allergies. Mm-hmm. But they have a place down in Center City called No Nuts. So it has the flavor of nuts, but it's not nuts. I love it.
Oh, I haven't heard. And that's called what?
No Nuts.
All right, No Nuts.
Oh,
now, as
so
a doctor of clinical psychology, I need a No Nuts place too.
See?
Now I need a drum, but I'm going.
Okay,
All
yeah.
right, so yes.
I caught it. I got it.
I'm whole band before it's all over. That's what I'm working towards. I'm working towards a band. All right, go ahead.
Well, let's get for a dessert, or summertime when it's hot, it's getting there now, or breakfast, a quick take me out. And this is just, what can I say? Some good old pancakes. I keep them whole grain, make them myself, and sausages for people who like that. You can have turkey, beef, however you like it, and a nice omelet, vegetables or meat.
We have seen a range of meals here so far, so you cover everyone's appetite.
Yes.
Now, if people would like to get in contact with you to hire you for events, what's the best way for them to contact you?
The best way is to go onto my website at twicethespicecaterers.com. I have a blog there that's also called Catering 101 with Chef Stephnie G. So if you have any questions about anything you may want to know about cooking or caterers that's getting into the business, they can leave questions, and we have recipes and promote businesses on that also. Or you can call me at area code 302-722-7108.
Give it to them again.
That is 302-722-7108.
Wonderful.
Yes.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for joining us today.
Oh, I had fun.
And I have a question for you. Now, you also came out because, today we're also doing the photo shoot, Hood for Life,
Yes.
in honor of Trayvon Martin. And why did you feel as though it was important to be a part of this photo shoot?
Well, it's very important for me, for one thing, because I don't want to tear up. But I lost my son in gun violence, and I wasn't real strong enough at that time to like really stand up and do anything about it. And I'm just so proud that his parents have, I don't know how the heck they did it, but they really did it. They riled up everybody all over the United States and other countries to, fight for the rights of locking up the gentleman who actually, just killed this teenager that had so much to live for. Because my son was a teenager, and stuff. So I'm just proud to be a part of it, and that's just, this is how I feel about it. So anybody call me for anything that have to do with youth, I want to be a part of youth, but especially this really touched my heart, so yeah.
So this is an honor for Trayvon, and it's also an honor for your son as well.
Oh yes, and every child, every teenager, every child out there who had, and their parents and family and friends who had to experience the loss, because it's something that you never get over. You, no matter what, you never get over. But this is a beautiful thing. I see it as a beautiful thing. Not that he lost his life, but that people came together to fight for the justice of making sure this gentleman got locked up, and to support their family and let them know that we're here for you, we love you, and you're not by yourself.
That's right. That's right. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thank you.